Dear students, welcome to this lecture. This lecture topic is file caching schemes. We all know that in computing, a cache is a high-speed data storage layer. So, by storing the frequently accessed data items or any subset of that data in cache memory, the future requests for that data will be served faster than the accessing it from the primary storage location. So the idea behind this file caching scheme is that one, to retain that data or to keep that recently accessed file data in main memory. So that what happens when there is a repeated access to the same information, it can be handled without any additional disk transfers. Means whenever you are using any book daily or frequently, you will not keep that book a in a shelf which is not easily accessible. You will keep it in a on a table or in hall, like that you will keep like that. Then there is a frequent access of particular data items. Then if we cache that files, it will result in immediate access of that particular file. If you are keeping it in on sunshade like that, every time it is somewhat difficult to get that book and read. If it is kept handy, then it is very much easy and you can read whenever you want. Like that. I hope you understood the difference. So every time we need not go to the primary storage area and need not get that fetch that data from that server or any primary storage. So further any additional disk transfers are not required when we cache the data. So this property of locality in file means now the file is locally resided, and these file access patterns are can be designed by using these file caching schemes. In distributed system, these file caching forms are used. They are cache location means where we can maintain this cache memory, and modification propagation, and the third one is cache validation. Let us see the each form in detail now. The first one is cache location. So I have already said that location means the place where the cache should be stored. The place where the cache should be stored is cache location. So there are three possible cache locations, means we can store data in these three possible cache locations. They are server's main memory, either in client's disk or in client's main memory. So first we will see the cache location in server's main memory. So this one, whenever a cache is located in server's main memory, so it eliminates the disk access cost on every cache hit. So it increases the performance compared to that of no cache. Okay. So here in server's main memory, as the cache location is on servers, it eliminates the disk access cost on cache hit. So obviously it will increase the performance on what? Without cache. With this cache, we can increase the performance. Server's main memory will be served very quickly. All the requests from the client will be served quickly. And the reason for keeping this cache in server's main memory is it is very easy to implement a cache in server's main memory, and it is transparent to all the clients. It is visible to clients in the sense. It's easy to keep the original file and the cached data consistent. Means temporary data. Sometimes it will be visible to us when there is no when there are updations going on some server side, some site. In such a case, actual content is not available, cached data is available. I hope you have seen this message first when visiting some sites. If we access that cached data, we may or may not get the updated content on actual server. Like that, if we are maintaining the cache on server's main memory itself, as we are maintaining on server's main memory, both the files means this original file existing on the server and the cached data file will be consistent. They will be updated every time, and we will not miss any updated content. So the first thing we are discussing is what are the file caching schemes. Under that, the first one is cache location, means place where to maintain this cache for the data storage. So you can maintain it in server's main memory, or you can place it in client's disk or client's main memory. So we have seen this server's main memory, and the next is client's disk. So if cache is located in client's disk, it eliminates the network access cost. Yes, we need not every time ask the server to send this and that like that. It eliminates the network cost, but it requires disk access cost on a cache hit. Hit is nothing that whenever you got anything from the any request to access that file, if that file is located in cache, then it is hit. If that file is not there in cache, it is miss. So having cache in client's disk will eliminate the network access cost. So this one is somewhat slower than the cache in server's main memory. But this approach is also having advantages like it provides reliability, large storage capacity will be there, and it contributes to scalability and reliability. Whenever we want to extend that capacity of cache, we can extend it. And disadvantages means it does not work if the system is to support diskless workstations. Means it will not work fine with diskless workstations. Why? Because there is only monitors or the terminals will be there. In such cases, this model of file caching scheme is not suitable, and access time is considerably large when compared to server's main memory. And the third type of cache location is on client's main memory. So this eliminates if the cache is on main memory itself, it it will eliminate the disk cost and also the network access cost. So this method is eliminating both the network access cost and disk access cost. This technique is not preferred to a client's disk cache when the large cache size and increased reliability of cache data are desired. Means whenever we want to maintain much data in cache, then this type of scheme is not suitable. But this is having advantages of it performance point of view, that it gives us a maximum performance and it permits workstations to be diskless and it contributes to reliability and scalability. See here the possible cache locations in file caching scheme for a distributed file system. So it can be to keep the cache locations can be on server side, server's disk, or it is nothing but the original file location. Means actual file is maintaining on the server and we want to cache this file such that the ease of accessing will be there and we can avoid the disk access operations. For that purpose, file caching is going on and frequently accessed items will be placed in the cache. So this from this original file location, it can be placed on server's main memory or it can be placed on client's main memory or it can be placed on client's disk. But this scheme is not available in diskless workstations. Okay. 1. There is no caching. 2. Cache located on server's main memory. And the third one is this one, client's disk, and fourth is client's main memory. So these are the advantages given in table format. And the next type of file caching scheme is modification propagation. In this modification propagation scheme, we can use this scheme in order to implement the critical effect on the system's performance and reliability. See, modification propagation means whenever the cache is located on client's node, in such a case, the modifications to that particular file may or may not reflect on the cache memory which is located on client side. See here, a file's data may simultaneously be cached on multiple nodes, means multiple systems that file is cached simultaneously at a time. So it is possible for cache to be inconsistent, means some may do modifications to that file which is maintaining on their cache as it is maintaining on client side. Like that it becomes inconsistent. All the modifications will not be reflected as they are in local cache. So when the file data is changed by one of the clients and that corresponding data cached at other nodes are not changed. Why? Because this client's cache is not visible to any other clients. So they will be not changed or discarded. So by implementing these techniques, we can go with this modification propagation scheme. We can do it via write through scheme or delayed write scheme. What is this write through scheme means? When a cache entry is modified, means any modifications are made to that file, that new value will be immediately sent to the server. For what? For updating the master copy of the file. Okay. Whenever these values are modified in the master copy of the file, where at server's location, then there might be a chance of caching it again and we can retrieve the new values which are being modified. Okay. So as and when some new value is updated, it will be immediately sent to the server for updating the master copy, means original file contents will be modified. So this will be having high degree of reliability, and it is like a Unix like semantics which we have discussed in our previous class. Immediately it is visible to other users. So this risk of updated data getting lost means while traveling in the network, if that modification message is being lost, so it gives a poor performance. And the second type of modification propagation is delayed write through write scheme. Delayed write scheme. In this, we can reduce the network traffic, and we have the new data value will be returned to the cache when that entry is modified, and all the updated cache entries are sent to the server at a later time. Means this one is immediate, no? This one will reduce the network traffic, and it writes the delayed write scheme. So delayed means, you know, somewhat late. So new data value is only returned to the cache. So when entry is modified, all those updated cache entries are sent to server at a later time. So for this approach, means for delayed write scheme approach, there are another three commonly used approaches are there. They are write on injection from cache. Means when the modified data is there in cache, it is sent to the server only when the cache replacement policy is decided to remove it from the client's cache. Means that file will not be maintained in the cache. Ejected means to take off or to remove, like that. This will be giving a good result in good performance, but reliability problem may exist, and it may be outdated for a long time. So when we will write the modifications to the original file, means write on ejection from the cache. Eject means to remove or to remove. Okay. Next one is periodic write, means we can update the master file periodically, say after 1 hour or 1 hour, 2 hour, like that, 2 hours, like that. Any cache data can be modified since the last scan is sent to the server. As we are sending periodically, the data will be updated in the master copy. And the third delayed write is write on close. Means here all the modifications will be sent to the server from the cache when the client closes the file. So this will not help in network traffic, but for in very short period of time these are useful, and when there are rarely modified data, they are used. Means modifications are not more. So advantages are write access complete more quickly than they result in performance gain. Performance gain means why? Because these write access, once the write access is complete, then only we are giving that result, and it gives us a better performance, and again the reliability might be a problem. So cache location we have completed, and modification propagation we have completed, and the third type of caching file caching scheme is cache validation schemes. So here this one, the before one which we have seen, the modification propagation policy, it specifies when the master copy of a file should be updated, right? So upon modification of cache entry, when it should be updated. the schemes we have seen: write immediate, write through scheme, and delayed write scheme. So what this will tell means, this modification propagation will not tell anything about the file data residing in the cache of other nodes. Okay, this file cache is updated and master file is updated, but this cache validation schemes will help to get the updated versions of the data from the server. So it is necessary, or it is must to verify the cached data at client nodes whether it is consistent with the master copy or not. Means all the changes are which are made to the master copy by one user are being reflected to the other users, other clients cache or not. It should be validated. So if not, the cache data must be invalidated and updated version of data must be fetched again from the server. So always it need to be verified and it should be validated by the server. And if it is not validated, means for example updated at 10 o'clock, but still it is maintaining the copy of updated at 8 o'clock, means it is not valid data. It should be updated. So invalidated and updated version of that data should be again fetched again from the server. So for that purpose, there are two approaches for the to verify and validate the cache data. So first approach is via client initiated approach, means whenever the client only initiates to validate its cache, or server initiated approach. So here in client initiated approach, always the client will contact the server and checks whether the local cache data is consistent with your data, like with the master copy or not. It will be initiated by client, means all the data maintaining on my cache, like on client's cache, is similar or it is correct as per the master copy or not. This will be initiated and it is validated by the client. So the file sharing semantics, it depends upon the frequency of validity checks. So these approaches are used in client initiated approach. They are checking before every access, means whenever we are accessing that file from the cache, we will contact the server that this one is validated data or not on the cache. And periodic checking means after some time, after some fixed interval, we will check whether this data is as per the master copy or not. And the third category is check on file open, means cache entry is validated on opening that file. So these are the three approaches which are used under client initiated approach to validate a cache. And the second mechanism is server initiated approach. So generally the client will inform the file server when opening a file. So it indicates the whether file is opened for reading purpose or writing, or for both purposes. So in such a case, the file server will keep a record of which client has opened which file and in what mode, means whether he opened it for read mode, R mode, or write mode, or execute mode. Like that it will maintain one data table where what client has opened and what is the mode of that file. Okay, so server monitors the file usage modes and it reacts whenever it detects that there is inconsistency in that file. So the server will update its record of which the client has opened that file in which mode. Like that it will update. So for example, if a file is open for reading, Other clients may be allowed to open it for reading, but opening it for writing cannot be allowed. So new client cannot open a file in any mode if the file is open for writing, right? Whenever any client is writing, then no new client cannot again open it in write mode. They can read the data. So when client closes a file, it intimates the server that modifications are made to that file. Then the server will update its record of which client has opened in which mode. Like that, it will be initiated and modified by the server itself. And this type of when a new client will request that file, the server will find the open mode conflicts and it will give access to the file. If any requests are not accepted, then it denies the request and it queues that request for asking all clients uh, to open the file and to remove that file which is maintaining in the caches, and it gives the updated cache. So I hope you all have understood this topic, file caching scheme. Thank you.